How's that?
That's great.
You know, I edit.
Rocky, got your lipstick on?
Not I.
Got mine on.
I'm going to use your name, Rocky, on this, if that's okay, because it's going to be hard for me not to.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, hello and welcome back to TotallyT. We have Rocky. He's the CEO of SAFE4R, and that is the world's first social protection app. Let me first start by relaying an experience that I was made aware of. Locally to me, there was a single woman, a college student, going through the mall, and she noticed she was being followed. She made sure that it wasn't in her head. She was definitely being followed, and she was scared because she was by herself and didn't feel safe enough to go out into the parking lot. So she did get a security guard to take her out into the parking lot, and then she went away. But because she's single and she lives by herself, am I specifically targeted? Who is this person that's following me? Am I safe at home? She went to go take self-defense lessons and just really freaked out by it. And I totally agree with that. I want to talk about, after I show a little video that really explains this app. Let's back up, and Anita and I are going to talk to Rocky, the CEO of SAFE4R, and we're going to find out how this could have helped in this situation. Just by describing that, I'm sure you're thinking, I've been in those situations, or, you know, I've had family members in that situation, and this is going to save lives. So listen closely. I'm going to, and by the way, go to SAFE4R on YouTube, SAFE4R. Subscribe and watch all the videos so you can truly wrap your head around this. But I'm going to show this video right here and why you need this app today.
If you were in a situation where you or your loved ones needed help immediately, how quickly would you want that help to be there? How many responders would you want to instantly be able to get involved? And how many witnesses do you think would be impactful in providing details about what occurred? Welcome to SAFE4R. SAFE4R is the world's first global social protection application, where the power of social reach and community exponentially increases immediate and direct response to any situation we or our loved ones may be confronted with. Whether it's an encounter with law enforcement, someone following you, a direct confrontation with someone, a medical emergency, or anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, SAFE4R has numerous incredible features to make sure that help and visibility can be instantaneous and no longer limited to just a 911 call. SAFE4R is about safety in numbers. It's about communities of ordinary people who become the eyes, ears, reporters, and responders for each other. The larger the community becomes, the more expansive the reach and the more powerful the safety net is. Our hope is that no user ever finds themselves in a situation where they feel the need to activate their SAFE4R alert. My father always taught me, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Feeling safer has never been easier. SAFE4R features are designed to provide you and your loved ones greater confidence and peace of mind wherever you go. So please, get the SAFE4R application today. Invite your loved ones, your friends, and your social communities to join you as one of your witnesses to help make your world safer.
So this is an introduction to Rocky. He's the CEO and developer of the SAFE4R app. It's brand new, and this is going to go viral. You need this for you and your family. Rocky, tell us, why did you develop this app, and that description of what happened here in the city that I live in, how this could have helped.
Absolutely. With number one, Tony and Anita, thank you both for having me. And I'm super duper excited to talk about the product. You know, I myself was a victim of an attack, and and you know, the one thing that I wished could have happened from the second it started till it was over, and even afterwards, was I just wish that somebody could have at least, if somebody would have just ran up there and said, "What are you doing?" It could have changed everything. Just one person could have just came up there and just yelled anything, it would have changed everything. And what people don't realize is when you're affected, it kind of to what you were saying a few moments ago, Tony, when the person who felt like she was being followed, she started taking self-defense classes. When these things happen to you, it absolutely changes your entire life from that day forward. It's not just that moment that's affected, it's everything from that moment on. And literally for years and years and years and years, it changes people. And so the reason why we built SAFE4R is we've been looking at the fact that, our 911 system, which is what we all rely on when we get in, trouble, whether it's a medical issue or a criminal issue, whatever it is, that's our go-to. And that system's been around for over 50 years. And 50 years ago, 911, the way that it works made a lot of sense. But today we've got so many other new technologies, new ways to reach people, new ways to have instantaneous communication with people for all kinds of reasons, whether it's sharing a picture of the new baby. But it makes a lot of sense to be able to leverage that kind of connectivity for a situation where I might be having a stroke and I can call 911 and wait 15 minutes, which is the traditional response time right now, or the person right next door who might be 10 seconds away from me, maybe a nurse or doctor, or just somebody who knows CPR. Or so for any situation, our goal in SAFE4R is to say that there's a system that should be able to be relied on in addition, not instead of 911, but in addition to 911, so that if I'm in a situation, no matter what it is, I can just activate something and people will come because people will know, because we have the ability to have that kind of connectivity as long as we build a network of like-minded people who say that, look, for me and my family, if something happens to someone that I care about, my daughter, my son, my wife, my husband, I really want as many people to get there to help them as possible. And I want them there as quickly as they can get there. I don't want my daughter, who maybe somebody's dragging down the street, to have to try to call 911 and wait 15 or 20 minutes to hope and pray they get there when there's potentially 100 people around her right at that moment. And if they only knew, they could rush over there and just say, stop it. Hey, what's going on? What are you doing? So that's the goal of SAFE4R. The goal is just to make it so that everyone has the opportunity to be much safer than they can possibly be today, because there would be a network of like-minded people who say, whether it's your family or mine, I've got your back. I'm there for you. So that's the core of SAFE4R and why it makes such a difference to have it, and we made it so that it's easy. You can voice activate it. You don't even have to go fumbling, looking through, your 50 different apps to try to find, where is that app? Where is it? I need to activate it. Or to look for the 911 thing, launch my thing so I can do 911. It can be voice activated. You can launch it very quickly, and then people jump into action. We've got amazing features in the application that make it so that it's very difficult for something to happen to you, and a lot of people not know it, a lot of people not see it, and a lot of people not be able to react to it and give you the help that you need immediately.
Mm-hmm. I just want to point out, I've already downloaded my app. You guys see that? Got my reflection, my blinds. It says activate SAFE4R alert. I just got this. Let me tell you, it works. Because I thought it said activate SAFE4R app, because I didn't know if I had fully installed it, because I was kept getting interrupted. So I accidentally hit that, and then I'm like, oh, it says alert. And Rocky said, are you okay? Immediately, I'm like, yes, that was an oops moment. Sorry. Glad to know this works. So this is awesome. I know Anita's got some thoughts and questions, so I'm going to let her ask some questions and bring out some wisdom and some points. I know she has them with her background and experience and happenings in her life. And so Anita, go ahead and take it away, and I'll come back in and wrap it up.
Well, I am thinking that this is going to be a huge tool for people, especially many people who think that they are immune. It's interesting, Rocky, that you, as a man, are talking about an incident that you experienced. And many women are much more aware of this kind of a situation than men are. But at this point in our world, it doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, a child, a teenager, or an adult. We are not impervious to this kind of a situation happening. And I think that's a painful reality we must all acknowledge. So we have got different type of technologies that we use, like Find My Phone, Find My Friend. This is very different because not only can you find your friend or know where they're at, but you can actually rise to the occasion if they're in need, whatever that need might be, medical, it could be logistical, it could be a threat of some other kind from the outside forces of life. It could be just, you know, I'm a cowgirl from Montana. It could be, hey, I'm stuck in a snowbank. Is anyone in the area? Does anyone know anyone in the area that can rally the cowboys of the area, right? So there's a lot of different applications I see here, Rocky, for this. There's many people in professions that they are driving up and down roads, for instance, different industries where people fly into other countries, people that fly and come in at all hours of the day and the night. The communication and connection of people is our protection for and with each other, is where I see this working. So if you can stretch your mind, I think, as consumers, as people living life, Rocky, I don't know every bell and whistle of this yet, but I can say that at this point, I see huge application right now, today, especially for women, young women, mothers with children, the threat on the safety of our children and being able to keep your children. It's exciting to me to see how this is going to cover a multitude of situations that we may face. And let me tell you, no one ever plans on facing those situations. So Rocky, tell us a little bit more about how this can actually work in those various situations where I'm a postman, I'm a flight attendant, I'm a doctor, I'm a construction worker on a remote site, all kinds of different situations going on here where you don't have time to stop and call 911. You don't have time to dial someone's phone number.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you said you made a bunch of incredible points in there. One of the ones that really stands out is, you know, I remember before I went through what I went through, you know, I always said it would never, ever happen to me for a lot of reasons. One, I'm a good guy, you know, I treat everybody good. I've been modestly safe, you know, I don't really look around that much, but you know, and also I'm not a small guy, I'm a big dude. And so for a lot of reasons, I was like, see it on the news. Yeah, I saw that. Oh man, she messed up or he messed up. Never me. Definitely get that out of your mind. It can happen to anybody, anytime, and it happens in a fraction of a second. And being prepared with things that can help you remain safer is very, very important. Another thing I wanted to mention is that this application is really cool in that our goal is not to monitor you. We're not watching everything you do, everywhere you go. Your brother's not seeing every time you turn around the corner, she turned around the corner. It's nothing like that. The only time that people are aware of where you are and able to render your assistance is if you activate the application. And when you do that, because you're in a situation, you want nothing more than for everybody to know exactly where you are and the situation that you're in so they can get over there in a quick hurry and help you. And the last thing I wanted to mention is, you know, we have this incredible thing called the Amber Alert. You mentioned children, and Amber Alerts are wonderful. But you know what I've found is that people are kind of immune to Amber Alerts now. When you get them on your phone, people just close them. They don't even really look at them. And usually when I get them, the thing is 300 miles away. You know, it's like, well, what can I do to help that? I mean, they're 300 miles away. You know, it's 2 or 3 in the morning. It's 300 miles away. So after you see that so many times, you just kind of you get numb to it and you just hit close. And then it's an unfortunate reality. Not only that, but also the bureaucracy that you have to go through to even get your child into an Amber Alert. I mean, you got to get with the police. They've got to check things out. They got to see if who you think was the abductor poses any physical harm or physical danger, and so on and so forth. And that takes time. Something happens to your child, you want stuff happening right that second, not the next day or some hours later, right that instant. And so so we've got some great things in here for abduction. And then the last thing I want to touch on is it's the global nature of the application. So it doesn't matter. This isn't, though we call it a global social protection app, we use that word social because we do want to build a big community of like-minded people who all want the same thing. We just want our loved ones and ourselves to be safe and safer. But it's not about, in as much as you can get witnesses and followers in here, if you're in a remote site and you travel to some other place and you don't know anybody there and none of your witnesses live in that area, if you activate SAFE4R because of the safety net network, which is just everybody, people are still going to get it. They're still going to be able to see who you are. They're going to see how close you are. They're going to be able to get to you. They're going to be able to call 911 straight from that app as they're running over there. They can get that activated. They can see where you are. Even if you're running, it continuously tracks the address and the nearest address to where you are as you're on the move. There's just a whole ton of incredible features that no matter where you are, no matter who you are, no matter your age, you're able to get help immediately.
Wonderful, Rocky. I really think at this point that any situation that you haven't imagined could happen. And when you have something like the tool in your toolbox that you may only use once every 10 years, but when you need that tool, it's there. I like that thought, being prepared. Kind of a Boy Scout thing is always be prepared, right? Isn't that the motto, I think?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
One of our big mottos, and you'll see it in the videos, is it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. And I look at that with a lot of different things. I have AAA. I always buy AAA for my daughters and for my wife and I pray they never need it. I pray they're never stuck on the side of the road with a flat tire and it's the middle of the night. I pray they never do. But I feel so much more comfort knowing that they have it. And this app is the same way. We hope and pray that not a single one of our users ever has to activate this application. But we're excited about the fact that if they have to, at least they've got it. They've got the ability to drive awareness immediately to people who are right there in the vicinity who can get there and offer them up some assistance.
Tony, I think that we have discovered a jewel that many people need to have, that they wear, that they keep with them, because most people wear their cell phones these days. Some wear them on their wrists, some hold them in their hands. And evidently there's one that's going to go on your finger. I'm not sure. I'm not into that one. But anyways, whatever the way you access your technology, we are in a technological age. I love the stuff that gives us peace and assurance, because health insurance, auto insurance only kicks in after the disaster. I think it's important that we look at this as an assurance, a preventative, like a prophylactic in medicine.
Rocky touched on abductions, and I'm sure that all parents are worried about that every time they send their kid out somewhere. But let's talk about, like, even in adult situations, and you're with your loved ones in Killeen, Texas. This was a while ago, but it I'm sure it still affects people today. There's a lot of people that were shot in a restaurant. It was terrible. So if SAFE4R would have existed at that time, and let's just say half the people in there had the SAFE4R app and they all activated it, imagine how many 911 calls in the video that would have been. I would assume that it could be used in court to show what actually happened. Is that accurate?
That's very accurate, not only from that perspective, but yes. So when you activate SAFE4R, it immediately launches your camera. It starts immediately recording to the cloud, not just to your device. So if your device gets destroyed, the video footage is still available. All of the people who get that notification, whether they're witnesses or people in the general area, they will all be able to see it. They'll all be able to dialogue about what's going on. Your buddy will be able to be there with you, video in video. And also it begins to track your movement and record that as well. So so that if somehow you get thrown into a car trunk and they take off, it's still going to be tracking that movement. Your buddy will be able to see that and be on the move chasing you down. It'll be recording it to the cloud. And what's really awesome is whenever the event is over, however that it gets deactivated, so whether your battery runs out 6 hours later on your device, whether the bad guy discovers it and turns it off, whatever happens, your buddy gets what's called a wellness check alert. So they get a notification that says, your friend Tony has deactivated her SAFE4R alert. We need you to do a wellness check. And so you have to try to call that person. And if you can't reach them, it says confirm or unconfirm. If you hit unconfirm, then the system will send your buddy the recordings of the video and the movement to your buddy so they can get that over to law enforcement and they can get on the move with trying to track you down and find out what's going on. So again, a lot of incredible features to do everything possible to try to make people safer.
That is very powerful, Tony. The fact that we can have video evidence.
Yes, and we were talking about people going missing and how many people go missing, and crime has gone up in most states by 50% this year. I think that this has come at the perfect timing, really. I suggest everybody get this. There's a way to invite your friends and family. As I understand it, you can add up to 3 buddies because there's witnessing. You can follow and they can follow you.
Correct.
But there's also something about buddies. Would you explain what buddies means, Rocky?
Sure. So of all your witnesses, which are in traditional social media, they call them followers. In our environment, we call them witnesses. So you can have as many witnesses as you want. And of those witnesses, you can select up to 3 of them to be your buddies. And when you ignite SAFE4R, the buddies get a few extra things. Number 1, they get the turn-by-turn to be able to get in the car and start finding you right away. Witnesses who are in a general area also will get that as well as safety net people. But also your buddy gets to be video with you. So if you're running or something, they can be with you saying, Tony, what's going on? Are you okay? Can I do anything? I'm in the car, I'm on my way, I got the SAFE4R alert. I've already called 911, I've given them address. We're tracking your address. We know exactly where you are. So your buddy can be with you during that. And again, when that activation is over, your buddy gets the ability to confirm your wellness, and only your buddies get that ability because we only want the people closest to you to be able to get that recording of what happened and be able to get that to law enforcement.
So let's say I'm in a stadium. I go to the bathroom. I tell my husband I'll be right back. I'm going to the bathroom. And then 15 minutes go by. My husband's just like, where's my wife? So let's say that I did not activate that. Is there a way that he can track me down?
There is, yeah. So well, for him to track you down, if he knows you went to the restroom, what he can do is he can activate the abduction feature of the application, which he could then share your profile and where you guys are. And then of course that will hit everybody in the stadium who has SAFE4R. And now you've got 1,000 people on the lookout to see where is this young lady right here. So so the abduction feature is extremely powerful because you're not always the one in a situation. It could be your child or somebody that I just see something happening. And I am able to trigger that and say, hey, I just saw this happen. It's a blue car, blah, 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 blah. And it hits a 10-mile radius. If we can build up this safety net big enough, fast enough, there's no way that guy is going to get away. There's no way he's going to be able to go 10 miles without somebody seeing him and saying, he's right here, he's right here, he's right here. I see him, I see him, I see him, I see him.
Oh, let's hold on a second. Hold on a minute. You mean if I see something, I see somebody abducted, thrown into a car, I can actually send that out, be on the lookout for this. This is the person, this is the vehicle, this is the license plate, and everybody looks for it, kind of like an Amber Alert?
Kind of like Amber Alert, but instead of being 300 miles away, it's right here. And it's right now. It's instantaneous.
So if they're not my buddies, they're not following me, I'm not following them, but I send that out. If anybody in that 10-mile area has the app, they're going to get that alert. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct. And then
Powerful.
what's even better is as let's assume that vehicle gets outside of that 10-mile radius, somehow, some way they make it through and nobody saw them, then it will continue the next 10 miles and hit those people. And then if they make it through there, the next 10 miles of people, it'll start hitting those people. So it becomes this kind of like a tidal wave of visibility looking for this person, this vehicle, whatever was reported, and it just continues and continues and continues and continues. So when you get the application, you'll notice there's a thing we call it the silent ping, and that's what that is.
What I'd like to know, because I wouldn't be surprised if people that download this app today might actually be using it today. And I would love to hear the feedback of how it has made you feel safe and maybe got you out of a situation. Whatever kind of feedback. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if absolutely today, this evening, you got some kind of feedback that this actually saved somebody's life. How would they get in touch with SAFE4R to let you know? Or would you know because you see the app and what's going on?
Well, they can get a hold of us on the website. There's a contact form on there under the support button there, and they can get a hold of us that way. And yeah, we would love to see the stories and hear the stories as well. I used it. I'll tell you, one morning I went for a walk. I was going up this really, really steep hill, and it was like 5 in the morning. It was still dark, and I really, really, my wife bought me this 20-pound weight vest, and I was like, I'm going to try this today. And I'm going up this hill, and I seriously was getting short of breath. And I actually used it so that in case I fell out, my wife would know where I was, because again, it tracks the address. So she actually got the SAFE4R alert, and she was able to join me as my buddy. It was like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? It's 4:50 in the morning. And I'm like, babe, I'm walking up this hill and I think I'm about to fall out. And she was able to see the address and get to me if she needed to. Fortunately, I made it up the hill, but I've used it myself. It's a very powerful tool.
Wonderful. I'm amazed. I thought, as much as we've talked about this before it even came out, I was like, I know it exactly, but you just mentioned some things I wasn't even aware of. So let me tell you, go to, if this is on Android and Apple, go download this today, but use TotallyT as your promo code, TOTALLYT. Use TotallyT as your promo code. And Rocky, we'd love to have you back and talk more about this. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of questions. In the description box below is an email address that you can get in contact with us. We'd love to answer all your questions. Rocky, are you willing to come back and talk about this some more?
Anytime. I really appreciate you giving me time to talk about it and introduce it and for your platform. And truly appreciate it, and looking forward to getting folks on this thing and leveraging it to its full capabilities.
I think what would be good is if we could do a live stream about this and let people come in and ask their questions in the chat. That would be good too.
Phenomenal. Totally open to that. Absolutely.
Alrighty. All right, Anita, Rocky, you have a good day. I gotta run.
Thank you guys so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.